Former President Jimmy Carter hospice update. Let's do it. Mr. Carter is coming up on 6 months of being on hospice. What does that mean? In order to be eligible for hospice, a person has to have a terminal diagnosis with a life expectancy of 6 months or less. I've done a lot of Googling and I can't seem to nail down what Mr. Carter's terminal diagnosis is, but suffice it to say, he has something going on that is expected to end his life within 6 months. The hospice benefit requires a recertification process at certain intervals, 3 months, 6 months, and then every 60 days thereafter. However, during the entire hospice stay, the interdisciplinary team is always assessing and evaluating the person's appropriateness for hospice ongoing. And at any given time during the hospice benefit period, a person can be discharged alive if they don't meet the criteria. As we approach the 6-month mark of Mr. Carter's hospice benefit period, he is going to have a visit from a nurse practitioner or a doctor. They will go and see him face to face and they will do an assessment. Then they're going to use that information along with the documented information from the interdisciplinary team to determine if they feel that he still has a life expectancy of 6 months or less. If he does, the hospice physician will sign a certificate of terminal illness that verifies his eligibility for hospice, and it will be good for the next 60 days until his next recertification period. However, again, if at any time he improves to where it appears that he has longer than 6 months, then he can be live discharged from hospice. Some people call that graduating or graduation. I've never really been big on that terminology. I don't really get it. Technically, it's a live discharge. I hope that Mr. Carter is having the best time of his life at the end of his life, and I selfishly hope that he is going to live longer than 6 months, as long as his quality of life is good. He's setting a great example to show that hospice does not mean it's for people who only have a few days of life left or that people will die faster if they go on hospice. And if he dies and doesn't make it 6 months, that's okay too, because it's going to happen to all of us in the end.